Hello there guys and welcome back to Blues TV for my review of Norwich 2, Chelsea 3, and we finally got that win. Please let me know in the chat whether everything's working, whether the sound is alright, whether you can see me and it's not buffering and all that kind of crap. Please tell me in the comments. And Jesus, I'm so happy, I'm so relieved, you have no idea. I'm so happy. I was so tense and nervous throughout the entirety of that game. Bloody hell. And didn't I tell you about Tammy Abraham? Didn't I tell you about him? Like, what's the point of starting Olivier Giroud? Then you play Tammy Abraham, then he gets you a brace. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. It's sick. Absolutely sick. But let's start, but obviously by saying if you're new here, please do subscribe to Blues TV. That would be massively appreciated. Also drop a like on the stream, or once this stream has turned into a video, drop a like on this video. And yeah, really do appreciate that. And let's just get into it and start it off with the lineup because there was some interesting things there. First of all, N'Golo Kanté didn't make the game. He wasn't even on the bench either. And when I saw the lineup, I thought, well, clear 4-2-3-1 then. But actually, it was more of a 4-3-3 again. But again, it's the same as it was against Leicester. Some sort of random changes to an extent. Like sometimes it was a 4-2-3-1, sometimes it was a 4-3-3. A bit weird. But anyway, let's run through it. Kepa, of course, was in goal. The back four that remained unchanged. Azpilicueta on the right, Emerson on the left, and the two centre-backs of Zuma and Christensen. A midfield three of Jorginho as the deepest or next to Kovacic, whichever one you want to put it, and Kovacic is right. Then, actually, Ross Barkley started, as that third midfielder in there. He wasn't meant to, but Pedro picked up a hamstring injury in the warm-up to the game, and Barkley was kind of brought in last minute. So that was a bit annoying, and let's hope Pedro is not out for too long because, Willian doesn't seem to be fully fit yet, and obviously Hudson-Odoi and stuff, so we need him fit. So, that is that. Therefore, Mason Mount started on the left, who was, of course, meant to start in that midfield three. Pulisic was moved over to the right, and then Tammy Abraham, like I say, started up front. And the game couldn't have started any better. It was a bit like the Leicester game. Couldn't have started any better, and we made it 1-0. Let me just check the minute. In the third minute, I think it was. I think it might have been the third minute. Yeah, in the third minute, through Tammy Abraham. And that was a great goal. Long ball to Tammy Abraham, who then laid it back off to Mason Mount, who played a nice switch ball over to Pulisic. Then Azpilicueta with the overlapping run. Pulisic played Aspi in when he had the space. And then he put in a decent cross, like kind of not low cross, but not high cross either, like, hip height, knee height, whatever you want to call it. And then Tammy just slotted that in with an on-the-turn volley. Absolute banger of a finish. Absolute banger of a finish. But then, 156 seconds later, Norwich already equalised through, the kid that I mentioned in my preview yesterday, Todd Cantwell, assisted by Timo Pukki. So, the two, great players with them. And that was a bit of a mess of a goal. Jorginho didn't look great. He was, bullied or pushed off the ball a bit too easily there. But can I really blame him for that? It's a bit like blaming Giroud for being too slow. I mean, it's just what they are. Other players around him have to help him not be bullied of the ball. Like, it's just what you get from certain players with a certain physique. That's just it. But it didn't look great there. Then the whole defense was a bit all over the shop. And then Pulisic squared it to Campbell and he just put it in. And then, Norwich were slightly better for that period of the game, I would have said. But 17 minutes in, we made it 2-1 through Mason Mount, the other youngster. Absolutely love it. Again, great play. And again, Pulisic, I don't know who Pulisic received the ball from. I think it might have been Jorginho, actually. Pulisic then with a smart ball into Mount, who made a great run, cut inside and then just blasted into the top corner. Not the best defending in Norwich there, I will have to admit. But, that was good. And then we were kind of in control. We had the game under control to an extent. Norwich didn't do that much for that time being. We didn't have any huge chances, but had a couple of chances, like half chances, I guess. But in the 30th minute already, so another only 13 minutes later, Norwich equalised again, made it 2-2 through, this time, Timo Pukki's fifth goal in the third Premier League game of the season. Ridiculous. And again, Jorginho could have done a little bit better there, although by that point he was booked already. Actually, he wasn't booked by then, so I tell a lie. He wasn't booked already. So he could have done a bit better and just hack the guy down. Let him go past him, and then Christensen just about played Pukki onside. And then Kepa as well. I mean, I gotta say, he should save that. Like, he was hugging that near post way too much. I know keepers are always a little bit scared of, seeing or, conceding by the near post, but he was too close to it. He should have done a bit better there, in my opinion. Like, an 80 million goalkeeper should do a bit better there, in my opinion. Fair enough. But that was that. And then as the second half went on, we got better and better. We had a couple of chances that we should have done better with, multiple people. Jorginho, Pulisic. We were playing all right, but as clinical as we were at the start, basically scoring out only two chances that we had at the start until we made it 2-1. No more clinicalness at all. Like, none of it. And that was obviously disappointing. Went into half-time at 2-2. And then, the second half we were better. At the start of the second half, again, had chances that we could have done better with. Then we, kind of took chances and the ball away from each other. Pulisic once had a moment where he could have just squared it to Tammy Abraham for a pretty simple tap-in. Didn't, went for the shot himself and put it into the side netting, the outside side netting. Then a moment later, I think Pulisic or someone's, crossed it alongside the box. And then Mount would have been in a great position to shoot, and Tammy Abraham kind of intercepted the ball away from Mount. So that was kind of the problem then at the start. But then, in the 68th minute, Tammy Abraham did step up and did make it 3-2 with a great finish, absolutely great finish from outside the box. If you remember that goal, it reminded me a bit of the goal that Eder scored for Portugal. It was a great goal, a great strike from outside of the box, and he clearly loved it. First goal, he ran to Frank Lampard to celebrate, which was great. And after that, I mean, yes, actually Norwich hit the post from, I'm pretty sure it was a corner. We still can't defend set pieces to save our lives. But other than that, we actually defended them all right, except that corner, because he's not very good at headers at all. But there was a couple of weird things in there by the ref. I gotta say, like Stiepermann, or however you pronounce his name, not sure if he's German or not, then it would be Stiepermann. Well, he should have been booked 3 times, because he clearly pulled off a tactical foul in the first half on Kovacic. Just pulled him back. That is a yellow by the rules. Then he got, a yellow for just sliding into the heels of Jorginho, so he should have been off by then already. And then in the second half, he kicked Azpilicueta in the knee in the box. Okay, maybe there was a tiny bit of contact with the ball, but in all honesty, he should have been off by then already. But even if he wasn't, then that should have been a penalty, and that should have been a second yellow card. It's as simple as that. And also, I think it was still in the first half, Tammy Abraham was very seriously wrestled down and then slid into, and clearly he was slid into before the guy hit the ball. Like, there was contact by the defender with Tammy, then with the ball, then again with Tammy. And I'd assume the ref didn't see the contact first, but that was VAR. Where was it? That should have been we should have had 2 pens, and Norwich should have had a player sent off. Someone in the comments at the start said, what were people doing? What were people, like, Norwich were robbed or something? Don't really know where that came from. The ref was really weird. Sometimes he blew whistles for nothing, and sometimes, he didn't give anything. Like, Mount was stamped on, and did the guy even get booked? I'm not even sure. It was ridiculous. But let's talk about the performances. I mentioned Kepa should have done better on that goal, on the second goal. But other than that, didn't really have to do much. Made 2 or 3 decent saves, to be honest. So, all right, I guess. Aspi today was a lot better. More of a stable midfield 3 helped him a bit. We were a bit more cautious and a bit less crazy on the press than we were against Leicester, I thought. So he was a bit better today. Also assisted, of course, the first goal. So Aspi today, big improvement, I thought. Zuma had a couple of iffy moments at the start, but both him and Christensen figured themselves out. I thought Emerson, again, really good. Of course, there are polls up in the top-hand corner as well. You can choose from at least a couple of options that I gave you. Best player, worst player. Leave it down in the comments section below from there. Jorginho, and the 2 goals, didn't do great, but other than that, was an absolute boss, I thought. Some people tell me I was shit. I didn't think he was shit at all. I thought he was great. Some great passes. I'm pretty sure he gave that assist to the assist for a second goal. I thought he did really well. Commanded the place really well. Kovacic next to him, absolute machine as well. Did really well. Good dribbling, good decisions today, which he doesn't always do, but good decisions, good defensively. Really happy with Kovacic today. Barkley was shocking. Barkley was absolutely shocking. I mean, he had parts in the second half where he was a bit better, but generally, he was absolutely shocking. He couldn't complete the pass to save his life. Then he started stumbling over his own feet again. Like Simon Phillips on Twitter put it, so Ross Barkley clearly has a twin, the one that played in pre-season and the one we see when it's competitive games, because against United he was poor and today he was poor. I know he wasn't meant to play, it's only because Pedro got injured, but still it was a little bit disappointing, I'm not going to lie. I have to take a sip of my drink now, but that's the thing of live streams, so you have to see that now rather than me editing it out. But yeah, Barkley, meh. I mean, he had like a decent effort, like a couple of decent efforts, I guess. One he completely put into Rose Ed, which wasn't great. Had one good dribble where he dribbled past pretty much the whole Norwich defence at the edge of the box, and then he just squared it to Aspie for no reason. I'm like, well, that's that chance gone then. Like, what's Aspie gonna do from a half space out there? Like, he's not gonna, when the whole Norwich, team basically is in their box, he's not gonna put in a cross and find someone in there. It's not gonna happen, is it? So, excuse me, either shoot. Or, like, I don't know, pass it to someone else. Like, there's no point in doing that. But oh well. Mount, great. The guy's an absolute machine. Works his arse off. Really good at his pressing. The way he runs at the opponents is really good. Took his goal really well. Got something stuck in my throat, sorry. And generally, he just did really well. I just love man. What a guy. And he had to be subbed off with a couple of minutes to go when first he got stamped on and then he got a knee in the calf. And it seemed like that was the main problem because he had an ice pack on his calf at the end. It was more just a dead leg. He'll be fine for next week, I think. Pulisic assisted Mount's goal. But other than that, didn't do that much. Had a couple of moments end of the second half with great touch in the box and stuff. But by the time he got to shoot, he got blocked. Second half, he was a little bit quiet, so then in the end, he got taken off for Willian. A bit late, I thought, even though I still would have taken Barkley off over Pulisic because I still thought Pulisic was better than Barkley. But yeah, so, that was that. And then Tammy Abraham, of course, what can you say? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Like, from all that hate he receives after the Super Cup and people questioning him, people saying, he's not good enough Championship player, starting against United, hitting the post, they're not getting a start in the next 2 games, starting again today, getting a brace, especially early on in the first half, being on an absolute mission, fighting for every ball. He still needs to bulk up a little bit and become a little bit stronger and be more used to the physicalness that seems to be a little bit of a problem for him now. Not sure why it wasn't a problem for him in the Championship. Maybe it was. I didn't watch Aston Villa that much, I will have to admit. Whoever Andrew Salmon is on about, Mount should be fine. He should be fine. The substitutions we made in the second half, just to run through it. In the 75th, Giroud came on for Tammy Abraham, which at the time I understood. I would have loved to see Michy Batshuayi come on, who was on the bench today. But at the time, with a 3-2 lead and, us not being particularly great defensively, I understood why he brought someone on that would be better at holding the ball up. Even though I don't think Giroud held a single ball up. We never really gave him that chance to do that. So I'm not going to slate Giroud for not holding a ball up. He just never really got the chance to, in a sense. And then Willian came on for Pulisic. I mentioned that already. And then in in injury time already, Marcos Alonso just came on for Mount to put Alonso at left back just in case for corners and, crosses and stuff. So we have another taller guy in there. Emerson was on the left wing. But generally, I'm just pleased. I'm very, very pleased. It wasn't the greatest performance. Of course it wasn't. There were good performances. There were bad performances from the team. We still need to figure it out defensively, because I'm not even going to say any one of our defenders today was bad. And I'm not even going to say any of the midfielders was bad. But collectively, as a defensive unit, we weren't very good. I mean, Norwich didn't have that many chances. They had the 2 chances they scored from, but Kepa should have saved one, let's be honest. And then it hit the bar. Other than that, they didn't have any huge moments. They had one shot from distance, which Kepa saved, and then a Pukki one that Kepa, again, did well to save and especially catch. But generally didn't have that much, but it's just moments. That's just brain farts here and there. It's like having a bad David Luiz, but it's just from could be anyone. It could be Jorginho, it could be Kovacic, had a dodgy header backwards, which thankfully Norwich didn't do anything with. Zuma a little bit, Christensen a little bit, Aspie, except Emerson. He doesn't seem to have brain farts these days. But, it was good. Yeah, I agree. Overall, Zuma was good. Christensen was good. I can't really complain at all. I mean, Christensen, yeah, he played Pukki onside for the second goal, but it was like he was like a foot behind the rest of the line. It happens. Like, it's not that easy. You can't always move in complete synchronization. It just doesn't work. I'm not going to blame Christensen for that. Kepa should have done better for me in that thought. And, yeah, I'm just pleased. Going forward, a bit more clinical today. We scored 3 goals. I mean, compared to the game so far, that was obviously good. Against Liverpool, yeah, we scored 2, but one of them was a penalty. Today we scored 3 from open play. I'm very pleased. I'm very, very pleased. And guys, I will come to the chat now. If you have any questions, like 2 or 3 questions or something, or 2 or 3 things that you want me to talk about, put it in the chat, and I will mention it. Of course, again, if you are new here, please do subscribe to Blues TV. We would massively appreciate that on, the day of that Frank Lampard finally secured his first competitive, win in a competitive game for Chelsea Football Club, which is obviously great. 2 of our youngsters scoring, Tammy Abraham with a brace, Mason Mount. It's great. And also drop a like. I would massively appreciate that. Please drop a like on this live stream. If you're enjoying it, I do hope that you are. And yeah, just drop a like. And of course, leave me your thoughts down in the comment section below once this live stream has turned into a video. But yeah, why is Bats not being featured? Well, I don't know. He was on the bench today, and I think if the result and stuff would have been different, I think he would have come on. But with the way it was, us being 3-2 up and Giroud just being really good at holding the ball up and being really strong and tall, that's why he came on today. And I really understand that. Barkley was okay at minimum. No, he was shocking. Absolutely shocking. Have you thought about doing a halftime live stream? No, because that just takes too much time to set up and stuff. That wouldn't work. I don't agree that Aspie was dead. Reece James needs to go to right back when he's back, and Aspie go to centre back. Reece James does need to go to right back, where Aspie needs to go to centre back. I mean, we already can't defend set pieces, and now we have 2 tall centre backs. So how would that go if we take 1 tall centre back out for Aspie? Not sure about that. And I agree. KIY said we played good, and we did, but it's still Norwich. We still need to figure it out a little bit better to actually, come top 6, I guess, and then possibly fight for top 4. We still need to improve to do that, because we can't concede easy goals like that. Even though I think Norwich will do pretty well in the Premier League this season. I mean, Timo Pukki is just an absolute beast of a striker, and that kid, Todd Cantwell, even though he's a bit of a diving prick, because, he just fell over when Pulisic didn't even touch him, and then he cluttered his leg around Pulisic's. That was a bit disappointing. Yeah, Bob Marley put it great. Clinical, to an extent, but defensively crap. That's kind of what it is. Mount is so reliable. Yeah, I agree. It's absolutely good. It's absolutely, like, he's just so good. What do you think we'll finish this season? Well, I said it multiple times. At the start of the season, I said somewhere between 5th and 8th, and I still stand by that. I still think we'll finish somewhere between there. If we come 5th, and then get a good cup run, get like out of the group stages in the Champions League, maybe even a quarter-final, depending on our round of 16 draw, I'll be happy with that season, in all honesty. Of course, top 4 would be great, but I don't think we can expect it at this stage. Why is our defence shambolic? Rudiger is a must, but the question is who should be the second defender beside Rudiger? I'm not sure Rudiger will change anything drastically, because I don't think it's as easy as saying one of them is not good enough. It's just a collective thing. It's just Lampard's system, even though it's not too distant from what Sarri did, we're not completely used to it yet, and there's just gaps that open up too quickly. Of course, we also did an amount of goals, but we don't concede to. We maybe concede less, and maybe they just have less chances, and maybe we just have slightly more control over the game. So, you know, I wouldn't be... God, Chelsea is bad. I mean, Liverpool were very lucky not to concede more than one against Norwich, in all honesty. Like, Pukki really could have scored 1 or 2 more in that, and not just him. What's wrong with Barkley? He looked so good in preseason. Yeah, I absolutely no clue, in all honesty. I have absolutely no clue what's wrong with him. It's just, I mean, the level of opponents, I guess, to an extent, even though he was good against Barcelona, but that was their first, preseason game, so can you really compare that? Didn't see Rudiger even on the bench, thought he's fit already. No, he isn't fit already. Frank Lampard said that in a press conference yesterday. He did play for the under-23 side against Liverpool, and the Liverpool under-23 side. I think it was last Monday. He played 90 minutes in that, but Lampard said yesterday he isn't fully match fit yet, and there's no point, having him in the squad if he's not. I know he was in the squad in the Super Cup, and he might even have been in the squad in the last... No, he wasn't in the squad in the last game, but still, he's just not fit yet, but Lampard said he might be ready next week, so, we'll see that. Yeah, I agree. Kovacic was really good. Kovacic was fair play to him. It was good. Why isn't Michi looking... Well, I just answered that. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. I'm just very, very pleased. 17 minutes, I think that's pretty all right. I'm just pleased. Finally, we got that win. I'm really happy for Lampard. I'm really happy for Tammy Abraham, of course, after the whole racism shit happened, because that's just disgusting and vile, and I hope all of you racist pricks just look like absolute silly mugs now, because he's a great guy. He's a great striker. He scored us 2 goals today, won us the game alongside Mason Mount, alongside other good performances, of course, but them two scored the goals. So I'm very pleased. Again, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Please do subscribe to Blues TV if you haven't already. Drop a like on this live stream, or on this video once it has turned into a video, and leave me your thoughts down in the comment section below. Click the polls up in with the I button up there, and leave me your thoughts by answering, I guess, the question. That would be interesting for me to see what you guys think about that. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you guys for watching. Up the Chelsea, and I'll see ya when I see ya.